he sat before our staff and our council members, and he said, you know, I've always been too much in the spotlight when it comes to hockey. And he said, I want my good friend Buster Harvey's name to be a part of this. And ladies and gentlemen, he said that with tears in his eyes. It was one of the most compassionate, compelling, unselfish things that I have ever seen. And there wasn't even a discussion. In retrospect, it was probably an oversight on our part. That's how this happened. That's how this happened. So we're recognizing two people this evening, not only for their hockey skills, but for their great contributions to the community, and both really are quiet, unassuming, out of the spotlight kind of guys. I'll never forget that night at council, because for so many people it would be so easy to take the bow, but not Danny Grant. That's not the kind of guy he is. He's a great friend, and I am so proud to be the guy that introduces him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Danny Grant.
Before I start, and just before we come into this area, the mayor asked me if his glasses made him look old. I said, no, your face does. I love it. Ministers, Keith, Troy, everybody, Lieutenant Governor, thank you very, very much for everything you've done to bring this to fruition the way and bring it to where it is today. It is one beautiful, beautiful building and something that Bus and I can be very, very proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if Buster was here with me now, well, when we were sitting down there, he would have said, okay, big boy, it's your show. Well, I got some news for him tonight. It's our show. The committee is unbelievable and what they did, and the girls, and the mayor just introduced them. He stole, he must have saw my little thing there. I was going to thank you. And I really appreciate what the committee has done and putting this thing together, and it just went off tickety-boo, and the last 3 days have been something really, really special. I'm very sorry that Willie's not here tonight. He came all the way from San Diego. Picked up a virus, and he is just not well enough. He's actually going home early tomorrow, and he wanted to be part of this, and I was really tickled that he thought enough of me to come this far, and also Buster. So he's being missed tonight, especially by me. I'd like to thank my friend, the mayor. This is his vision, along with City Council, past and present. They started this road with the Willie Reed place, and we're a little late behind. I guess it was a duct that caused some problem down here from the beginning or something like that.
What did you say?
Oh, dear. Anyway, was it $5,000 duct? But here we are. By the way, my Fredericton includes Barker's Point, Marysville, Devon, National City, Silverwood. That's my Fredericton, it always was, North Silverwood. There's a couple of guys here, there's two guys here that have just gone well beyond the call of duty. And the talent both these people have is just amazing. I just said, Ron Saychuk with the murals. I just look at them and I just say, yeah, I wish I had talent like that. Of course, Ron tried to be a hockey player. He didn't do that good either. So we're even. And Brian Smith. I think Brian Smith has always been there. From I can't remember when, anytime anybody had anything going on, that there was any function that they needed professional photography, Brian's always been there, and can't thank him enough. We have some people, I have a very special 3 or 4 people here from out of town, and not only my good friend, but my closest thing to a brother, Richard and Denise Gamble. Richard and I lived together in Peterborough for 4 years. Richard, I was a jock, went on to play. Richard took a scholarship at the university. So Troy Polytechnic Institute, Troy, New York. So they're up here to be part of this, along with John and Lynn Doherty. John's from Fredericton. They live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania now, and John is a great friend of the Mazookas and those guys. Red Willette came down. Red called me today, and Red's an old Boston Bruin, and he lives in Grand Falls. I think, Red, you were born in Camelot, but today he lives now in Grand Falls, and he called today, and I was really hoping he'd be here. And then we have another gentleman that I had no idea was coming, and a good friend of Buster and Chris's, and mine was Mike Adams from Minnesota. Mike was Buster and I lawyers. That's why I had to work until I was 67 years old. I love you, Mike. As I said, this is Buster and my name up there. It's our night, and would be a little remiss if I didn't mention a couple of stories about Buster and a couple about me in regards to hockey, and a lot of people in here knew Buster, and a few people didn't, but Buster and Joe, when I was in Minnesota, Linda and I, and we had Kelly and Jeff, and Buster was in Cleveland, and he was leading the American Hockey League in scoring at that time, and there was another young fella who later became quite a star for the Boston Bruins in the National Hockey League, Gilles Gilbert, and they were both rookies and single, and they were living together, and they actually babysat quite a bit. They should have. They ate for nothing all year in my house. Actually, I wrote them off at the end of the year. But anyway, I think they got kind of embarrassed one night. They invited Linda and I over for dinner. They had lasagna. And to cook the lasagna. And as we're eating, we're picking saran wrap. Melted saran wrap out of the lasagna. That was one little story, those two. When they babysat, when we get home at night, they'd be both passed out on the couch. The kids be running in the house would be like a tornado hit it. And they were the best of friends. They enjoyed each other, and we just loved having them. Now you gotta appreciate, and the hockey players appreciate this. We're in Philadelphia, as you know, in those days, in the 70s, Philadelphia was the toughest team in the National Hockey League. Buster was called up from Cleveland to join the the Detroit Red Wings were playing in Philly. Brian Bubsy Watson, some of you will probably remember, played for the Montreal Canadiens, did the checking job with Bobby Holland in the playoffs and went on. And Brian, God love him, was one of the most fearless people I've ever met in my life. Not a big guy. But anyway, in the warm-up, he goes out and there's Dave Schultz, Bob Kelly, and the big Turk guy there, whatever they call him. He went up to him right in the warm-up and he said, "We brought a guy up to fix you fellas tonight. You want to screw around here tonight, number 18 right over there is going to Buster Turnbull." So anyway, it was a long evening. A long evening. We laughed about that for a long. We got away with our lives that night, but just barely. But we laughed a long time over that. But I remember one time Buster had a shoulder operation, and he had dislocated his shoulder and everything. He had the cast on, and he couldn't shower, he couldn't do anything, so he was staying at our house in Minnesota, and so we got him, Lynn and I got him all garbage bags all wrapped around the cast, but he hadn't had a shower and he was not smelling very good. So we figured we got to get this guy a shower. So him and I get in the shower together.